So first of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for entering the competition and congratulations for getting so far. One thing before you make the pitch. I want to make sure that my principle in life is it's a win-win or no deal. So this has to work for me, has to work for you, and if it doesn't work, then I guess it's no deal. And don't feel obliged that you have to pitch. If you don't want to pitch, if the numbers don't work for you, then feel free to call it quits now. Otherwise, thank you to Lesley for giving us this opportunity, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Lesley.
Good luck. I can't wait to see you guys pitch. Bring it on.
So first off, thank you for the opportunity to both of you. It's been an absolutely brilliant day. It's been really casual, and it's been great to meet everybody as well. So what I'm planning on doing really is, even though it's a 4-bed HMO at the moment, looking at converting it into a 5-bed. So I can see potential space where the kitchen currently is, and a nice open space where the living room is. So I'm going to be looking to raise the whole standard of the property up, and aim it directly at the professional market rather than council tenants or students. So realistically, on the face of things, a light refurb in every single room. If it needs new carpets or whatever it may be, I'm happy to put those in. Certain things in the smallest bedroom, the window's broken, so I'm going to have to either replace or repair that. I can offer somewhere between 8 to 825. I'm going to go conservatively and say £800 per month to you. And I believe I can make the property work, get my money back within a required time, and then allow it to cash flow well for me for a 60-month period. That is on one basis, and that is the first month's rent I can get into the property, and I have that first month's rent gifted to me, per se, so I don't pay that first month. That allows me to get myself into that property and actually take on the work that I need to do myself, really. I'm not looking to get people in there. I will be in that property myself, documenting it every step of the way, just so I can share exactly what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and realistically what's involved in actually taking on a rent-to-rent. Maybe demystifying the whole strategy and actually giving somebody a clear insight to what I can actually do with it. So yeah, that is my offer, and that's realistically the best I can offer. But I think realistically, when you get the property back at the end of the term, whether it be 60 months or if we discuss longer, it will be done up to a high standard again, so no refurbishment for yourself, and it'll be just ready to go straight for yourself to take on from there.
It's Jason here and Ken. We represent Pure Living. Basically, we analysed the deal. We viewed the property in Peterborough, and we thought it was a great house, and there's some work that needs to be done, obviously. It wouldn't work based on our analysis, and with our experience in service accommodation, it seems to be probably a slightly little further out than from the city centre. So we were trying to sort of analyse the figures based on an HMO basis.
Obviously, with an HMO model, there will be more costs involved. So the setting up, as well as the aforementioned renovation work, basically. We are planning to make some. We're proposing to make some modifications to the property in order to make it compliant with the current requirements.
Total, all in for the renovation, we were aiming for about 10,200. And then the HMO license itself for 5 years should be 750. So all in, the total money in for this HMO deal would be around 14,450. That's what we're looking at. And then in terms of the rooms that we had a look on spare rooms and had a search on the postcode based on the area, and we could see that there were definitely more demand than rooms available. All in, we're looking at around 2,230 for rental income for the 6 rooms. So we were proposing, because the mortgage itself is 350, as you mentioned. Yeah. We were proposing to go for a split of the profit and also on the cost required. So if that's on a 35% model, you're making 431 per month, and then we'll take the balance of the 65%, and we should be making 596 per month after all the costs.
So what's the profit in this model, the 6-bedroom? Sorry.
So our profit,
Excuse me a little bit.
our
Sorry,
profit
yeah,
should be
that's quite-
596. Our profit.
So what's the total?
Total
Yeah.
profit should be if it's taking away yours is 1,002.
So I think I came along today because, as you know, I'm a deal sourcer. I find properties for investors.
Yep.
So whatever happens, this would be my first property for my own portfolio. So I've come into there looking at it almost as if I was going to advise somebody else. If somebody had asked me to go and look at it for them as a potential HMO, given that the small room upstairs is below 7 square metres, which is required by Peterborough Council as the minimum size for a single room in an HMO. So then we're going to have to think about moving a wall across, which is involving some costs there. So to me, the figures didn't stack up for an HMO. That leads me on to then serviced accommodation, which I've got minimal experience with, but it interests me a lot more. We're getting an influx of people into the city for tourism, and for families I think that house would work really well. Also, because we're in Hampton, we are fairly close to Progressive Properties, to the Progressive Property HQ. Now, Progressive is one of the largest training companies in the country, and they are constantly running courses. And people travel in to Peterborough, not just from the UK, but they travel in from overseas as well. It doesn't need a lift. I know it's had some sort of decoration done, but it really, it wants decorating pretty much every room, and you'd expect that. So I've worked my figures on an occupancy of 14 nights per month. So looking at the expenditure, I would be looking at a bill to me of about £1,450 to £1,500 a month if I was to give you £500 a month. That would give me, on these figures, on an occupancy of just slightly under 50%, of £475 profit. Taking the figure that I had originally put down for the cleaner, and which was included in my figures to start with, and then the welcome basket. So what I'd like to do is raise my offer to £750 a month.
So what I propose to you is, if we were to kind of do a joint venture with this property, so for example, if I put £1,000 in and you put £1,000 in, we went 50-50 on the investment into the property to bring it up to scratch. So we need to put a new shower in, clean it, sort the bathroom floor, give it a paint, and then sort the carpet out. So I would manage all that and do all of that, as well as my interiors type of thing. So renting out as an SA, I would propose to put it out for about £100 a night. So say, for example, we rented it out for 8 nights, which is very low, because when we do our due diligence things, we always look for an occupancy rate of 14 nights a month for our break even. However, if we only rented it out for 8 nights a month, then we would break even on all the bills, including your £350 that you currently pay to your landlord. So I would like to propose that after that £800, we would then split all of the profits Above that £800, 50-50. There's thousands of houses currently being built here. So when I've been doing my research back in Oxford, I've seen that quite a few essays are working, like large houses are working really well as an essay, just kind of outside of the town, so they're not in the city centre, so they've got parking and everything nearby, and they're working really well for like construction workers. And I mean, in terms of what it means to you, it means that you can get your hands-off deal that you wanted, so you literally won't have to do anything. And I can guarantee your rent every month, so you won't get any voids and things like that. And obviously I look after the property, I manage the property. We have like regular cleaners in, gardeners. So it's kept to a really high standard because obviously with SA, you need it to be kept immaculate all the time. And yeah, and I'm kind of willing to put towards like £100, £150 towards any minor maintenance that the property may need. Like kind of going forward, so if like the shower break or something, then I'd be willing to fix that. So yeah, so that's kind of my proposal to you. What are your thoughts?